rise on up. We say the commandments. Look, mama, no fringes. His mercy endures forever. Blessed to see another Sabbath, the Sabbath day of the week, where all his saints gather. Shabbat shalom, my brother. Shabbat shalom, my sister. This means peace on Yahweh's Sabbath. Shabbat shalom, Judah. Shabbat shalom, Yisrael. This means peace on Yahweh's Sabbath. Lead the world out there. Sisters, cover your hair. Brothers, gird your loin. Deacon, blow the ram's horn. Now sit back and listen. What the Spirit saying to the churches. Keep His commandments, law, statutes, and judgments. Deuteronomy chapter 6, verses 4 and 5. Whoever said the law was done away with Israel, they lied. One part of forever that they don't understand. As it is written, His saints will take the land. Now invite the angel that stand at the door to come in and sup with us, and us with Him as we read out of this great legacy. The greatest love story ever told, more valuable than silver and gold. Many are called, but few are chose. Yahweh willing, we make it home. Shabbat shalom, my brother. Shabbat shalom, my sister. This means peace on Yahweh's Sabbath. Shabbat shalom, Judah. Shabbat shalom, Israel. This means peace on Yahweh's Sabbath. Shabbat shalom, my brother. Shabbat shalom, my sister. This means peace on Yahweh's Sabbath. Shabbat shalom, Judah. Shabbat shalom, Israel. This means peace on Yahweh's Sabbath. The Sabbath day of the week, where all his saints gather. Shabbat shalom, my brother. Shabbat shalom, my sister. This means peace on Yahweh's Sabbath. Shabbat shalom, Judah. Shabbat shalom, Yisrael. This means peace on Yahweh's Sabbath. Lead the world out there. Sisters, cover your hair. Brothers, gird your loin. Deacon, blow the ram's horn. Now sit back and listen. What the Spirit saying to the churches. Keep His commandments, law, statutes, and judgments. Deuteronomy chapter 6, verses 4 and 5. Whoever said the law was done away with Israel, they lied. One part of forever that they don't understand. As it is written, His saints will take the land. Now invite the angel that stand at the door to come in and sup with us, and us with Him as we read out of this great legacy. The greatest love story ever told, more valuable than silver and gold. Many are called, but few are chose. Yahweh willing, we make it home. Shabbat shalom, my brother. Shabbat shalom, my sister. This means peace on Yahweh's Sabbath. Shabbat shalom, Judah. Shabbat shalom, Israel. This means peace on Yahweh's Sabbath. Shabbat shalom, my brother. Shabbat shalom, my sister. This means peace on Yahweh's Sabbath. Shabbat shalom. surface. Beyond the surface. Beyond the surface. Beyond the surface. The prince of this wicked world, the god of confusion. Got black folk experiencing of strong delusions. Got ears that can't hear, mouths that won't speak, eyes that can't see that this curse is so deep. Deaf, dumb, and blind, committing sin, /crime, repent, oh Israel, we're running out of precious time in the land where they saying God's word is dead, and you wondering why the innocent blood is shed. That's cause Satan's in the earth, he walking to and fro, doing what he's told, beating his status quo. Tempted man with pleasure and wickedness, denying the master, saying don't keep his commandments. Our wisdom and our knowledge in the sight of nations, but you love earthly riches than salvation. That means get saved from tribulation and wrath. The broad way leads to death, and narrow is the path. Preach the gospel, spread the good news. The son of Elohim, got you a king of the Jews, not king of the Christians. Nothing they do Christ like. They criminals of Yahweh, outlaws in his sight. Same-sex marriage is okay with the president. That old serpent, the devil, is controlling the government. No prayer in the school system, no truth in the black churches. That's food in our neighborhoods, children killing with no mercy. Look beyond the surface and show yourself approved. Do your own research, seek the spirit of truth. Beyond the surface. Beyond the surface. Beyond the surface.
Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to the Beyond the Surface program. My name is Yosef Ben Israel, and I'm the elder priest of the Cultural Center of the New Covenant Congregation of Israel. We're located at 3901A, Covenant Highway, Indicator, Georgia, 30032. Our phone number is 404-286-5869. The website is www.thencci.org. Again, welcome to the Beyond the Surface program. Today's topic is black people have no value at all. Let me repeat that. Black people have no value at all. Now, if you've watched this program before, you know you must have your Bibles out to follow along with what we're talking about today. Unless black people played in sports or were known as great entertainers, they will have no value to American society. The rest of black people live in a ghetto lifestyle, with each one trying to out-ghetto the other. They are all over the internet platforms such as TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, behaving as if they are experts on any given matter. There used to be a time when people would tell someone that they had a good face for radio, meaning that they sound good on the radio, but their faces would scare people away. Well, now we are seeing those people whose faces are fit only for radio on the internet platforms, and people see how they actually look. And whatever they are speaking about is only secondary as to how they look. They try to speak about what white people are doing and why they are doing it, as if all the white people tell them their business. When black people were slaves, they were an asset, but now they are a liability. Let's start this off in Hosea chapter 8 and verse 8. And you have to understand what we do here at NCCI is to explain to you the same things that black people are doing now, they were doing back in these days here. As a matter of fact, we try to relate black people to the people of the book because they are the people of the book. Black people are the children of Israel, but because of the curses, they don't know that they are the children of Israel. But let's read verse. This is Hosea chapter 8 and verse 8. Israel is swallowed up. Now shall they be among the Gentiles as a vessel wherein is no pleasure. Now this prophecy was written in 780 BC. And you jump all those years to now, you got the same situation here in America. So not only were they prophesying for that time, they were prophesying for these times here, because we can see it ourselves. Because it says here, Israel is swallowed up, and we are swallowed up here in America. Now shall they be among the Gentiles as a vessel wherein is no pleasure. We get on everybody's nerves. Unless you're a professional athlete or a professional entertainer. Let's look at it a little bit closer. Let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 14 to verse 18. Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 14 to verse 18. There was a little city and few men within it, and there came a great king against it and besieged it and built great bulwarks against it. Now there was found in it a poor wise man, and he by his wisdom delivered the city. Yet no man remembered that same poor man. Then said I, wisdom is better than strength. Nevertheless, the poor man's wisdom is despised, and his words are not heard. The words of wise men are heard in quiet more than the cry of him that ruleth among fools. Let's look at another example. Let's go to Matthew 25 and verse 14 to verse 17. Matthew 25, verse 14 to verse 17. Remember now, black people used to be an asset, but now they're a liability. This is Matthew chapter 25, 25, verse 14 to verse 17. For the kingdom of heaven is as a man traveling into a far country, who called his own servants and delivered unto them his goods. And unto one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, and to another 1, to every man according to his several abilities. And straightway took his journey. Then he that had received the 5 talents went and traded with the same, and made them other 5 talents. And likewise he that had received 2, he also gained other 2. But he that had received 1 went and digged in the earth and hid his master's money. Now let's continue on in this chapter here and pick it up at verse Matthew 25, verse 24 to verse 30. Then he which had received the 1 talent came and said, Master, I knew thee that thou art a hard man, reaping where thou hast not sown, and gathering where thou hast not strawed. And I was afraid, and went and hid thy talent in the earth. Lo, there thou hast thine, that is thine. His master answered and said unto him, Thou wicked and slothful servant, thou knowest that I reap where I sowed not, and gathered where I have not strawed. Thou oughtest therefore to have put my money to the exchangers, and then at my coming I would have received mine own with interest. Take therefore the talent from him, and give it unto him which had the 10 talents. For unto everyone that hath shall be given, and he shall have abundance. But from him that hath not shall be taken away even that which he hath. And cast ye the unprofitable servant into outer darkness, there shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Now, it's put in the form of a parable, but what he's saying here is that if you don't profit your God, what good are you? What does he need you for? It's related to the kingdom of heaven. So if you're going to make it to the kingdom of heaven, you got to have some type of reason that Yahweh would allow you in the kingdom of heaven. What do you have, or what have you done to allow you in the kingdom of heaven? Now, granted, people have never even heard of the kingdom of heaven. But those of us who have, we understand the things that are of the kingdom of heaven. So it's written that Yahweh is going to bring his people back to the land, that he scattered them all over the world. He's going to bring them all back to the land, all 12 tribes. But the stipulation is going to be a little bit different now. You're not going to just waltz up into to your land this time. You got to have some kind of prophet to the king that's going to be ruling over that land. You're going to be busy. The king got to have a reason for you to be in the land. What are you doing there? Are you going to be doing the same thing that your fathers did, stay in trouble? Are you going to do those works that got you there in the first place? Let's continue. Integration destroyed black people. That's why they are a people that wherein there is no value. Before integration, black people used to work all the time, taking care of the house, taking care of the family. But now, integration has destroyed the black community. And we were never supposed to integrate. As a matter of fact, no other nation integrates with another nation. They want to maintain their identity. So we had those same laws that said we should not integrate with other people. Let's start this off in Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 1 to verse 5. This is what happens when you don't read your Bible. Deuteronomy 7, verse 1 to verse 5. Now this is Moshe talking to the children of Israel. When Yahweh thy Elohim shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and have cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites, and the Girgashites, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou. And when Yahweh thy Elohim shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt have no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. For they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of Yahweh be kindled against you, and destroy thee suddenly. But thus shalt thou deal with them. But thus shall you deal with them. You shall destroy their altars, and break down their images, and cut down their groves, and burn their graven images with fire. We were never supposed to learn the ways of the heathen. And look at what we're doing now. We got a law that says we should have no other God before me, and see what Yahweh's saying here, you're going to put another God before me. Then I'm going to have to destroy you. And thou shalt not make unto you any graven image. Well, that's all the nations know are graven images. And here in America, that's all black people know are graven images of the Christian God. Let's continue. Let's go to Ezra chapter 9, verse 1 to verse 4. Ezra chapter 9, verse 1 to verse 4. Now, let me preface this by saying that the children of Israel have just come out of the 70-year Babylonian captivity, so they're coming back into the land, right? So they're being reestablished. Yahweh brought them back into the land after 70 years. Look at what they've been doing. Now, when these things were done, the princes came to me, saying, the people of Israel and the priests and the Levites have not separated themselves from the people of the lands, doing according to their abominations, even of the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Jebusites, the Ammonites, the Moabites, the Egyptians, and the Amorites. For they have taken up their daughters for themselves and for their sons, so that the holy seed have mingled themselves with the people of those lands. Yea, the hand of the princes and rulers have been chief in this trespass. And when I heard this thing, I rent my garment and my mantle, and plucked off the hair of my head and of my beard, and sat down astonished. Then were assembled unto me every one that trembleth at the words of the Elohim of Israel, because of the transgression of those that had been carried away. And I sat astonished unto the evening sacrifice. He was shocked that they had mingled their seed among the heathen. We just read the law saying we shouldn't be doing that. We're supposed to be a pure people. Let's go to Psalm 106, verse 34 to verse 36. Psalm 106, verse 34 to verse 36. They did not destroy the nations concerning whom Yahweh commanded them, but were mingled among the heathen and learned their works. And they served their idols, which were a snare unto them. So you see, this is the record of our forefathers. Yahweh preserved this just for this generation of the children of Israel here in America, so we can understand what we should not be doing here in America. And one of the worst things we could have done is integrated with white people. Even white people were astonished that they wanted to integrate with them because they know that black people know white people hate them. And you want to integrate with these people that hate you? But that's mindset of those Christian civil rights marchers. They thought everybody was a Christian, everybody was equal. No, that's not the real world. And you found out what the real world was when they blew Martin Luther King's head damn near off. Let you know that white folk don't want you mingling with them. They want you to stay on your side of the street. It's bad enough you're here already. But they don't want to mingle with you. You forced this on them. They didn't suggest it. You forced it on them, and this is the reaction. Now you are destroyed as a people. When you before integration, you had your own game. You had your own businesses. You had your own neighborhoods. You had your own schools. But once integration was finished, now you don't have none of that. Look at, and that's one of the reasons that the title of this program is Black People Have No Value at All. You had value at one time, but now you don't. Because white people have seen your nakedness, and they have exploited you. Let's go to Jeremiah 10, verse 1 and 2. Over and over again, our fathers were warned, do not mingle with the other nations. This is Jeremiah 10, verse 1 and 2. Hear you the words which Yahweh speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. Now, I think I should go a little bit further with this, in this particular chapter here, to show you that there's nothing new under the sun. Look at what it says in verse 3. For the customs of the people are vain, for one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workman with the axe. They deck it with silver and with gold. They fashion it with nails and with hammers, that it move not. They are upright as a palm tree, but speak not. They must needs be born, because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, neither also is it in them to do good. Now, what does that sound like to you? Doesn't that sound like the Christmas tree? Let me read that again. For the customs of the people are vain. Well, let me start at verse 1. Hear you the word of Yahweh. Hear you the word which Yahweh speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. For the customs of the people are vain, for one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workman with the axe. They deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not. They are upright as a palm tree, but speak not. They must needs be born, because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, neither is it in them to do good. That is the Christmas tree. And black people love themselves some Christmas. Let's continue. the leaders of black people have betrayed them. Let me show it to you. This is Isaiah chapter 3, verse 1 to verse 12. Isaiah chapter 3, verse 1 to verse 12. For behold, the Adonai, Yahweh of hosts, doth take away from Jerusalem and from Judah the stay and the staff, the whole stay of bread and the whole stay of water, the mighty man and the man of war, the judge and the prophet, and the prudent and the ancient, the captain of 50, and the honorable man, and the counselor, and the cunning artificer, and the eloquent orator. And I will give children to be their princes, and babes shall rule over them. And the people shall be oppressed, everyone by another, and everyone by his neighbor. The child shall behave himself proudly against the ancient, and the base against the honorable. Does that not sound like today? Do these children not respect their elders? When a man shall take hold of his brothers, of the house of his father, saying, Thou hast clothing, be thou our ruler, and let this ruin be under thy hand. In that day shall he swear, saying, I will not be an healer, for in my house is neither bread nor clothing. Make me not a ruler of the people. For Jerusalem is ruined, and Judah is fallen, because their tongue and their doings are against Yahweh, to provoke the eyes of his glory. The show of their countenance does witness against them, and they declare their sin as Sodom. They hide it not. Woe unto their soul, for they have rewarded evil unto themselves. Say you to the righteous, that it shall be well with them, for they shall eat the fruit of their doings. Woe unto the wicked, it shall be ill with him, for the reward of his hands shall be given him. As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err, and destroy the way of thy path. Your civil rights leaders, Al Sharpton, and all these race hustlers trying to get black people upset with white people so you can always get some kind of controversy going. And these types of people like Al Sharpton, they don't even live in black neighborhoods. So how do they know that there's racism in black neighborhoods? No, they're getting paid to do this by the Democratic Party so it can get black people to vote for Democrats. That's all about. They don't give a damn about black people, never have. And to show you how foolish black people are, they're part of the Democratic Party that started the Ku Klux Klan. Nobody's ever told them that. But they want to slam the Republicans when the Republicans are the ones that want to free the slaves. The first black voters were Republicans. They show you how easy to manipulate black people. It's so easy. Let's continue. I can't believe this. I can't believe this. Y'all, excuse me. Verse 34 to verse 39. Then stood there up one in the council, a Pharisee named Gamaliel, a doctor of the law, had in reputation among all the people, and commanded to put the apostles forth a little space, and said unto them, You men of Israel, take heed to yourselves what you intend to do as touching these men. For before these days rose up Theudas, boasting himself to be somebody, to whom a number of men, about 400, joined themselves, who were slain, and all as many as obeyed him were scattered and brought to naught. After this man rose up Judas of Galilee in the days of the taxing, and drew away much people after him. He also perished, and all, even as many as obeyed him, were dispersed. And now I say unto you, refrain from these men, and let them alone. For if this counsel or this work be of men, it will come to naught. But if it be of Elohim, You cannot overturn it. You cannot overthrow it. Lest happily you be found evil to fight against Elohim. Now, he's talking about the apostles of the Mashiach here. And the Jews did not like what they were doing because they were rocking the boat. See, they had formed an alliance with the Roman Empire. And if they did those things that they were doing, all those miracles and talking about the Mashiach, Yeshua, then the Jews would be in trouble because they always proclaimed that Caesar was their king. Now the believers in the Messiah said, no, Yeshua is the king. So they pressured them and told them and threatened them, told them do not talk about the Mashiach Yeshua and his doctrine. But that's our past. This is where we come from here. We were Jews, and we're still Jews. And the thing about that, there were some Jews, they like to put out that the Jews killed Christ. No, there were some Jews that believe in the Messiah. Let's continue. Let's go to Galatians chapter 5, verse 10 to verse 12. Galatians chapter 5, verse 10 through verse 12. I have confidence in you through the Adonai that you will be none otherwise minded. But he that troubleth you shall bear his judgment, whosoever he be. And I, brethren, if I yet preach circumcision, why do I yet suffer persecution? Then is the offense of the staros ceased. I would they will even cut off which trouble you. But again, look at what we're saying here, that black people are being misled by their own people. They have no leader. And their leaders, the ones that claim to be their leaders, these are the ones that are making merchandise of black people. Look at black people's neighborhood. And they always vote for a black representative. But look at the neighborhood. Do you really think he's doing anything for black people? Of course not. He's being paid not to do anything for black people. See, in Congress, they have an agenda. If you don't follow that agenda, you're going to get kicked out of Congress. And the people in Congress are very well paid by outside lobbyists. So you might start off with your heart in the right place, but when you get up to the Congress, you're in the real world then. Because the real world says, no, you don't do anything for your own people. I only do things for white people. It's gotten to the point now that white people are actually voting for black people because they know black people bust their butt to satisfy white people. Before we continue, let me invite you out to the cultural center of the New Covenant Congregation of Israel. Again, we're located at 3901A, Covenant Highway, Indicator, Georgia, 30032. Our phone number is 404-286-5869. The website is www.thencci.org. We have a prophecy class every first day of the week at 11 o'clock in the morning. Come on out and see what the prophets say about you and your future. And if you cannot make it in person, you can watch us on Facebook and on YouTube. We also have a history class every third day of the week, which is Tuesday night at 8 o'clock p.m. Come on out and see what the Bible says about your history, because the Bible is your history book. The people in the Bible, these are your forefathers. As a matter of fact, your forefathers wrote the Bible. White people didn't write this Bible. Your forefathers wrote the Bible. And Yahweh preserved this Bible just for this generation of his people here in America. So we'll know how to return back to Yahweh because we're so far away from home. So he's showing us this is how you come back to me. So we read the Bible from cover to cover and find out that these things that we're reading about happened to only one people, and that was us. We also have a sisters only class on the 5th day of the week, which is Thursday night at 8 o'clock. You can join the sisters on Zoom. We also have, finally, we have our Sabbath service on the 7th day of the week, which is Saturday at 1 o'clock p.m. Come on out and see what it is like to remember the Sabbath day and to keep it holy. Now let's continue. Black people do not know who they are. Therefore, they are foolish before the nations. Let's prove that. Let's go to Psalm 44, verse 11 to verse 14. Psalm 44, verse 11, verse 14. I want you to listen very carefully to what it's saying here, because, again, it's almost like they were here writing down our present-day experiences. Psalm 44, verse 11 to verse 14. Thou hast given us like sheep appointed for meat, and hast scattered us among the heathen. Thou sellest thy people for naught, and does not increase thy wealth by their price. Thou makest us a reproach to our neighbors, and a scorn and a derision to them that are round about us. Thou makest us a byword among the heathen, a shaking of the head among the people. Now, who does that fit? I mean, you can look out at black people today, and you look at the things that they have gotten off into, the things that they're talking about, you got to shake your head at that. What is your mind? But again, that's the result of not knowing who you are. Consider this. How many people on earth call themselves by different names every generation? It used to be called Negroes, coloreds, blacks, African Americans, Afro-Americans, and African Americans. Who else does this? You don't see white people doing this. White people have been white people for centuries. They never change who they are. But we're the only people on earth that change. Somebody should look at that and ask, why do you call yourself by different names all the time? What is the matter with you? Don't you know who you are? And the answer will be, no, we do not know who we are. That's why we call ourselves by different names. But that in itself should make people think there's something special about y'all, that you don't know who you are, but there has to be a reason why you don't know who you are. And believe it or not, there are people that know who we are. They just haven't told us. Now, what's the point? Would that change us? No. Because we already shown that back in the day when you were in the land, yeah, you're doing the same thing you're doing now. So Yahweh has to reveal that to you. He has to show it to you himself. That way, he gets the glory. So he didn't let white people tell you who you are. And if they did, then they would get the glory. No, Yahweh's showing you who you are. Yahweh's showing you what you're supposed to be about, and that you're supposed to keep his laws and commandments and believe in his son, Yahshua HaMashiach. But again, Yahweh got to do that. Let's continue. Let's go to Psalm 80, verse 1 to verse 6. Psalm 80, verse 1 to verse 6. Give ear, O shepherd of Israel, thou that leadeth Joseph like a flock, thou that dwelleth between the cherubims, shine forth. Before Ephraim and Benjamin and Manasseh stir up thy strength, and come and save us. Turn us again, O Elohim, and cause thy face to shine, and we shall be saved. O Yahweh Elohim of hosts, how long wilt thou be angry against the prayer of thy people? Thou feedest them with the bread of tears, and giveth them tears to drink in great measure. Thou makest us a strife unto our neighbors, and our enemies laugh among themselves. They laugh at us. We're a joke. But you have to look at it this way. Back in the day when we were slaves and everybody hated us, we had to figure out how can we survive in this land here among people that hate us, that don't think our lives are worth preserving. How do we get past that? And one of the things that we use, that our fathers used, showing you how our fathers thought, is to use humor. Make these white people laugh. Make them feel comfortable around you. And it worked. White people thought twice about killing us because, yeah, you make me laugh, black boy, or black girl. You make me laugh, so I'm going to keep you around a little bit. So black people have taken that lesson and elevated it to a profession. So now you have professional comedians. Like Dave Chappelle, Cat Williams get paid the big bucks to make white people laugh. But again, we're still a foolish people. Let's continue. Let's go to Jeremiah 50, verse 6 and 7. Jeremiah 50, verse 6 and verse 7. And listen very carefully what is being said here, because again, how can you not identify with what's written in the Bible? Listen what it says here, and this is, again, Jeremiah 50, verse 6 and verse 7. My people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. They have turned them away on the mountains. They have gone from mountain to hill. They have forgotten their resting place. Black people don't know where they come from. They want to say they come from Africa, but over time they're starting to realize that, well, maybe we didn't come from Africa. Well, that's where all the black people are, aren't they? They ain't nowhere else on earth. So the thought contradicts itself. Just because you're black, you think you're from Africa. But the Africans don't agree with you that you're African. And another thing, if you are African, why haven't you gone to an African embassy here in America and complained about these white people? They got African embassies here in America. Why don't you complain to them about white people? Did it ever cross your mind? No, it never crossed your mind. Because you don't think in those terms. Everybody on earth has an embassy here in America. Why do you think people from other lands come over and settle in America? Because they got embassies here. Where is your embassy, black people? Where's the embassy of the black man? Where is your seat at the United Nations? You're an American, aren't you? Shouldn't you have a seat at the United Nations? Aren't you a nation? No, you're an anomaly. You're not like anybody else on earth. You are people that don't have your own land. The only people on earth that don't have your own land. Why do you think they disrespect you so much? They respect everybody else here because they come from another land to America for any reason. And white people respect them. But you don't have your own land and you don't have your own government. That's why nobody respects you. Where is your land, black people? Where do you come from? It's not from Africa. Where do you come from, black people? Why are you here in the land of white people? Why are you here? See, those types of questions never run through your mind because you're too busy being stupid, making people laugh. Now, let's continue. Let me read that again. This is Jeremiah 50, verse 6 and 7. My people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. They have turned them away on the mountains. They have gone from mountain to hill. They have forgotten their resting place. All that found them have devoured them, and their adversaries said, we offend not, because they have sinned against Yahweh, the habitation of justice, even Yahweh, the hope of their fathers. White people don't have no guilt about the way they treated you, because you worship their God. Where is your God, black people? You don't have a God. You don't have a land. You don't even have your own language. Everybody come to America got their own language too. And when they come to America, they bring their gods with them and their religions with them. What was your God and your religion when they brought you over here on slave ships? What was your God at? You worship the white man's God. That's all you know. And you get the Holy Ghost at the drop of a hat. Don't you think something's wrong with that? I mean, they let you know that this is the white man's God because their God is white. Where's your God at? Why don't you have a God that looks like you? Why you got to worship another man's God? Well, when you consider what is written, we understand why you don't have a God. Right? You're under them curses. Let me read that again. All that found them have devoured them, and their adversary said, we offend not, because they have sinned against Yahweh, the habitation of justice, even Yahweh, the hope of their fathers. You sin against, they know you sin against your God. And you don't even know your God's name. Your God has hidden himself from you. Let's continue. Let's go to Jeremiah 2. Verse 11 to verse 14. Jeremiah 2, verse 11 to verse 14. Hath a nation changed their gods, which are yet no gods? But my people have changed their glory for that which does not profit. Be astonished, O you heavens, at this, and be horribly afraid. Be you very desolate, saith Yahweh. For my people have committed two evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters, and hewed them out cisterns, broken cisterns that can hold no water. Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled? Does that sound familiar? Is he a homeborn slave? Yes. He is a homeborn slave. You've been slaves here for over 200 years. Physically. But mentally, yeah, you're still slaves. You've been slaves for over 400 years. Because you have no leadership. All you know is to follow the ways of white people. What about your ways? Well, the thing about that is, your ways are written in the Bible. But no one's ever told you what the Bible is saying. Anybody that reads this Bible and calls themselves a Christian, they don't know what the Bible is saying. The Bible has nothing to do with Christians. But pride keeps black people from admitting that they don't know what the Bible is saying. That's why they'll never learn. Christians are the only people that do not know what the Bible said, and they don't want to know. Let's continue. Black people are cursed and do not realize it. Let's pick this up in Deuteronomy 28, and I got a few verses in here. I can't put them all up. They're not in sequence, but as I go along, I'll let you know back there in the back where I'm going. This is Deuteronomy 28, verse 15. Listen what it says here. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of Yahweh thy Elohim, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Now, again, this is written in the Bible, the curses that will come upon you if you refuse to keep these commandments. And for hundreds of years, all black people know is what white people taught them. And white people taught black people not to keep Yahweh's law and not to keep his commandments. That the law been done away with. And black people see how white people are prospering, not keeping the law. And they want to be like white people. So they speak against Yahweh's law too. So that means that curse is still on them. No matter how rich you get, you can be Oprah Winfrey, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, billionaires, right? They're still under the curse. They're still cursed. No matter how much money you make, how large you live, you are still under the curse. Let's continue. Let's go to verse 37. This is Deuteronomy 28 and verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations whither Yahweh shall lead thee. But isn't that so? Look at how black people act out there in the street. People are astonished at them. They'll do and say anything. Nobody knows what's wrong with them. I mean, you can see this every day. Black people in the middle of traffic will walk across the street while traffic is going on, as if they can't get hit. Who thinks this way? Let's go to verse 41. Verse 41. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity. Look at all the young ninjas. They get locked up all the time. They got a record. They are some don't give a damn people. Because they have no direction. Some of them grew up without fathers in the house. Well, let me say, most of them grew up without fathers in the house. That's why they're loose and out of control. They feel like they don't have to obey anyone. That's why they get the police so much trouble. And the police got to shoot them or tase them, but they rather shoot you. Yeah, so they don't have to do so much paperwork. Let's go to verse 43 to verse 50. Now listen very carefully and see if you don't relate to this. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. Look at your neighborhoods. You got foreigners moving in your neighborhoods and opening up businesses, and you bring your money to them. Who does that? Why don't you have a business in white folk neighborhood or in the Indian neighborhood, the Asian Indians? Why don't you have businesses over there? Or in a Hispanic neighborhood? Why don't you open up a business in Hispanic neighborhoods? Them curses. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and shall pursue thee and overtake thee till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of Yahweh thy Elohim to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. And there shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever, because thou servest not Yahweh thy Elohim with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which Yahweh shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. Think about it. Who on earth has ever had a yoke of iron around their neck? Who else? You see, how can you not identify with this? It should make you want to stop and think and say, why am I calling myself black? There's no value in it. Nobody respects black people. The evidence is out there and it's very obvious that being black does not pay. Let's go to Leviticus 26, verse 14 to verse 17. Leviticus 26, verse 4. See, we're not like anybody else on earth. We are a chosen people by God himself. And what you see in black people go through is a result of their rebelliousness against their God, and he has put his hand personally in our lives to let us know that he don't like what you're doing. This is Leviticus 26, verse 14 to verse 17. But if you will not hearken unto me, and will not do all these commandments, and if you shall despise my statutes, or if your soul abhor my judgments, so that you will not do all my commandments, but that you break my covenant, I also will do this unto you. I will even appoint over you terror and consumption and the burning ague that shall consume the eyes and cause sorrow of heart, and you shall sow your seed in vain, for your enemy shall eat it. And I will set my face against you, and you shall be slain before your enemies, and they that hate you shall reign over you, and you shall flee when none pursueth. Isn't that what we're going through now? And see, you got a president now that loves his country, and he'll do anything to protect it. But you got them race hustlers out there like Al Sharpton convincing you that this man hates you. He don't give a damn about you. He's helped black people before. Yeah, he's helped Mike Tyson, even helped Al Sharpton. But he's trying to turn your heart against this man. What did he do to you to make you so pissed off with him? He didn't do nothing to you. But you're so easily manipulated. You're so emotionally unbalanced that it's easy to deceive you. Why don't you stop and think for a minute and consider what you're listening to? Turn the damn TV off, because that's who's manipulating your mind. You ain't got sense enough to think for yourself. Let's continue. Let's go to Jeremiah 29, verse 17 to verse 19. Jeremiah 29, verse 17 to verse 19. Thus says Yahweh of hosts, behold, I will send upon them the sword, the famine, and the pestilence, and will make them like vile figs that cannot be eaten. They are so evil. And I will persecute them with the sword, with the famine, and with the pestilence, and will deliver them to be removed to all the kingdoms of the earth, to be a curse and an astonishment and a hissing and a reproach among all the nations whither I have driven them. Now, we're scattered all over the world, but we've never heard of the rest of the tribes of Israel being so stupid as these people here in America. You don't hear no noise about them. But black people, you make yourself an astonishment to all the nations of the earth. That's why nobody want you in that country. When you go visit another country, especially you black women, you think you can act in those countries like you act here? No, you cannot. They will lock you up because of your nasty attitude. You can't pull that crap over there that you do here. You disrespect everybody over here. But you can't go over in other people's country disrespecting them. That's why they don't want you over there. You're loose and out of control. Let's go to Jeremiah 16, verse 9 to verse 13. Jeremiah 16, verse 9 to verse 13, it says, For thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, Behold, I will cause to cease out of this place in your eyes and in your days the voice of mirth and the voice of gladness, the voice of the bridegroom and the voice of the bride. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt show this people all these words, and they shall say unto thee, Wherefore have Yahweh pronounced all this great evil against us? Or what is our iniquity? Or what is our sin that we have committed against Yahweh our Elohim? Then shalt thou say unto them, Because your fathers have forsaken me, saith Yahweh, and have walked after other gods, and have served them, and have worshipped them, and have forsaken me, and have not kept my law, and you have done worse than your fathers. For behold, you walk every one after the imagination of his evil heart, that they may not hearken unto me. Therefore will I cast you out of this land into a land that you know not, neither you nor your fathers, and there shall you serve other gods day and night, where I will not show you favor. How can you miss that? Who else does this fit? Have we been shown any favor since we've been here in America? Only recently. That's because Yahweh let us know that we're his people. I want to thank you for joining us. Yahweh bless you and keep you.